Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. Today we're going to talk about why I get this question all the time. I get questioned every time I go to an event. What the heck are you doing at this event? You have all of these units, you've done all this stuff, and why are you at this event? And I mean, it was an event. I went to an event with Wealth Genius this past weekend, and they were talking about investing in the US. Number one, I've never invested in the US. Number two is I go out and I go to these events because I'm there for the networking. Well, networking and different things. So my whole reasoning behind any of these and why I'll go to almost any event is I need to learn one new thing, or I need to meet one new person to make it worthwhile for me to be at a weekend event or a multi-day event. So if you go with that mindset, it's super easy to come out with a win. Like I met, 4 or 5 new people this weekend that I could conceivably say, wow, I'd like to hang out with them. We're on the same wavelength. We're investors. I think that we could, do something. Or it could be as simple as, I might be able to help them buy a home, or my team might be able to help to buy the home. Or, there's a couple people who did say, hey, I like your projects. I would consider being a passive investor in those. All of those are great wins. Plus, I sat in a room and obtained knowledge on investing in the US. Now, am I going to go invest in the US tomorrow? Probably not. But at the end of the day, I think all I would need to do to invest in the US is actually find a business partner in the US who I could build a business with around it. And now I have a little bit better idea of structure, taxes, different opportunities down there. So that would help me organize that thoughts a little bit better. But I can conceivably say I don't want to be the one who's leading the charge on that. I would definitely need a more active partner. So I don't know, you guys have seen me on Instagram and wherever say, hey, I'm looking for passive, active partners. You never know where your next business partner is going to come from. And maybe they introduce me to someone down the road, or you just never know. So what were you guys doing this weekend that was more important than going out and building your network, building your knowledge base, your net worth, right? Because your network is your net worth. So what were you doing this weekend? Or what do you do what are you guys doing on March 27th? Because we have our networking event, our meetup. We're not providing knowledge, but there's so much knowledge in that room that, there's people buying 40 unit apartments, there's people buying hundreds, there's people building self-storage, people developing, people doing duplexes, people who haven't done their first deal who are just there to gain that knowledge from people. And you know what? I get a ton of people come up to me and say, hey, who should I talk to here? And I'd say, well, what are you looking for? And I'm like, oh, you got to talk to Kevin. You got to talk to Scott. You got to talk to Graham. And these are the people who can help you get where you want to go. Rob Chopra and I are started a new podcast. Where do you think the people come who speak on that podcast? A lot of these people I've met at networking events. And it just allows us to expand our network and grow. And just meet people doing different things. It's like, maybe I'm not wanting to do that. I don't want to take my focus away from what I'm doing. At the end of the day, though, maybe I'm going to be the passive investor in their business, just like the restaurants I own, right? Maybe I'm a passive investor and they're going to be the active partner and I'm just going to, write the check. I'm happy to do that too. I'm actually looking to do more of that as we go down the road. And I want somebody who's going to be hungry enough to be going to these events. And just back to our meetups, and I get this question a lot too, is why don't we have an educational portion of that event? And very specifically, I don't want it to be that. I want people to be able to come of all walks of life, of all different experience levels, and know that they're going to have somebody to talk to at their level. If we start doing education events, a lot of people who are maybe more senior, like, I kind of know that. I don't want to go. And then, we limit it to newer people. And, I think it's better for those at some point for those newer people to be in that room with the people who are doing a lot more and just having a conversation with them rather than continuing to hang out with new investors all the time. Because, you know, if you're both doing a duplex, great, you're going to learn from each other. But if you can talk to somebody who's done 10 duplexes, well, they're going to share a different story than the one who's doing their first. Yeah, you might be able to say, oh, I made that mistake, don't do this. Whereas the person who's done 10 is going to be like, oh, here's the laundry list of mistakes I made. You probably can avoid some of them. You're probably going to have to make some of them, but you know, you can mitigate your risks in some way. All right, guys. So obviously, get out there, attend these events. March 27th is coming up. We'll put the Eventbrite link down below so you guys can make it. Also, I am taking on a few more coaching clients starting April 1st. So if you're interested, hit me up and let's chat. And we kind of reorganized that a little bit from last time. So if you reached out last time and it maybe didn't work out, then maybe we can do something this time. All right, everyone. Catch you next time. Have a great day.